Hey fam, it's me again, your girl Unique Air. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm always talking about the NDE videos, and I just want to give you guys some examples and break down some of these near death experience testimonies. I am promoting Jeff Marr. I love his channel. I've been a subscriber for a while, and these people's testimonies are amazing to me. And because I have an understanding of the astral realm, I know what they're talking about. I know what's going on. I know where they are. You know what I mean? Because it's 7 different levels. If you've been following my channel, which my channel is still fairly new, but I got to keep moving forward because whoever's supposed to get this is going to get it. So I want you to join me now to listen to a young lady who's saying that. Let me take them when I hide that. Her experience, after, as you see, is the title. After a head-on collision, she crossed over and begged God to stay. Now we got to check this out, and let's go.
This is the Jeff Mara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Elisa Palmer, who, due to a severe car accident, had a near-death experience with a life review, which we're going to talk about. Elisa, thank you for joining me and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Elisa, if you don't mind, let's start on the day you had that car accident and go from there.
Okay. My car accident was in 2001, and I was with my friend Alex. We were headed to Las Vegas, and it was around 6 o'clock in the evening. We got in the car, and I was driving. I was on. I was headed. Yeah, so we're headed to Las Vegas, and I was in Barstow, and it was around 12 at night, and I was driving, and there was a car coming towards me. I was on a one-way highway. So I was driving and Alex was sleeping, and all of a sudden the lights start coming towards me. And so as they start coming towards me, my reaction, of course, is to move over. I didn't move over fast enough because the car, it just came so quickly. So it hit me head on, and we were both going 65 miles per hour. So the impact was 170. So, yeah. No, 130. I can't do my math. So 130. I bounced back in the car, and it was pretty dark. The headlights were on, but it was dark in the car, and I started to feel like a solution, like fluid, and I'm out of sorts trying to figure out what this fluid was. And so I stick my arm up, and as I stick my arm up, I touch my bone because my forearm was sticking out. And when I touched my bone, that's when I realized kind of what was happening, that I was in this severe car accident. And so when I touched my bone, I started to scream because it just freaked me out. And as I was screaming, I heard a knock on the window, and there was a gentleman that was driving in front of me. He was driving a truck, and he was towing a boat. And so he saw the accident, and he called 911. And so that's when he came over, and he knocked on the window, and he said, "Help's on the way." And so, of course, I was relieved. And next thing you know, the paramedics came, helicopters came, all the help came, and they got Alex out. He was passed out. He was in a coma for 3 days. So they got him, put him in the helicopter, and then they went around to my side. But when they went to my side, they had to use Jaws of Life because it was so, combusted. So they got the Jaws of Life, and as the woman, the paramedic, she was helping me, she noticed that I was drifting in and out of consciousness. So as I was drifting, she'd say, "What's your name?" like really loud. And I would kind of like snap out of it, and I say, "Elisa." And then she would say, "Where are you from?" She'd start asking me questions just to keep me conscious because I was going, losing the blood and everything. So then from there, she just, kept with me. And then they started getting the Jaws of Life, ripping the door off. And, there again, she's talking to me real loud just to keep me awake. And then they get me out of the car. They move me onto the gurney. And, so in the car, when I was drifting in and out of consciousness, that's when I would go, above myself. and through a tunnel, and then in this space of like pure light, pure love, pure bliss. And that was, for me, that was God. And
I just want to pause this there because everybody talks about the tunnel. Now, I haven't read anything in my studies about the astral realm about going through a tunnel, nothing like that. Now, I'm not going to really expound on it. I'm going to have to do some more research on that, but I haven't heard anything about a tunnel. I know about the life review because she's going to talk about that. And if you've been following my videos, you know, you get the life review while you're in your soul slumber after you cross over. You get the life review, right? But getting a life review in a near-death experience, it's possible that that can happen too. Remember, what happens to us is what we expect, and sometimes it's not what we expect. So let's just keep watching.
So when I went, in and out of consciousness, I remember feeling just this beautiful love, this beautiful light, like feeling like there's a download that happened because my full consciousness came back to me. And I just wanted to stay in this light. I didn't want to go back. But like I said, I would kind of go in and out. And so when I had the experience and I was up, up with God in this light, the download, it showed me that like it gave me a life review to show me my life.
Okay, and also we know that that wasn't God, right? Because it's levels to this. It's levels to this. You don't go to God. You know what I'm saying? God is in, you are God, all right, to a certain extent. But when you cross over, you remember, you got to have your soul slumber. When you actually stay in the astral realm, you have your soul slumber, you wake up on the plane that you're supposed to be on. This is something traumatic. She's having a near-death experience. So we tend to call, as humans, finite beings, and meaning these bodies are finite, we tend to refer to anything outside of ourselves that seems greater, God. Okay. But we know this was not God. Okay.
Life. So I kept wanting to go. Well, okay. So I kept wanting to go to the light, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'm home. I'm home." I knew that I was home. I knew that this was where I belonged. It was very, very familiar to me. So I was begging God, "Let me stay with you. Let me stay." And I thought that I was going to go there. I didn't even think I was going to come back. So I was begging him. That's when I saw the life review. And when I saw the life review, I instantly knew that I couldn't go home yet. I knew that I needed to come back because of, what the life review was showing me. It was revealing to me my life, my husband, my kids. It was showing me all these things. So I knew if I'd gone home, it wouldn't be right. So then I saw my life review, and then I chose to come back. And so God he gave me this choice after he showed me the life review to kind of show me, okay, look at this, you're not done. So he revealed that to me. And so when he revealed it, I knew I had to come back. And so I chose to come back and continue on.
What I find interesting here when they speak of life review, that when you actually do transition and you have your soul slumber, you stay in that slumber to burn off things that you need to burn off, right? So when you wake up, you work through all the negativity and you only come out with the best, and you stay on the astral realm for a while until you're actually ready to incarnate. Well, here, I don't know if I would necessarily call it a life review. I think I would more refer to it showing you that, hey, it's just not time yet. You just need to go back. You need to work on this. You need to do that, because things can be worked on in the astral realm as well. But calling it the total life review, I don't know, because the actual life review is when you actually in that soul slumber. Check out my astral body playlist. When you're in that soul slumber, and that takes a little time depending on your spiritual development. Well, then again, if somebody's low, their spiritual development is very low, the life review only takes seconds. And it could very well be that she was shown some things that she needs to work on and told that she has to go back. Okay. Nothing is written in stone here. Remember, in the astral plane, you are your own judge, you are your own jury. So that was basically herself sending her back. Remember that. There's nothing outside of you that's doing anything. It's your consciousness on the inside. So she's sending herself back. Just like you can create a hell for yourself, right? And stay on that realm. She's sending herself back.
And from there, I'm trying to think. My story gets a little scattered because it's not always easy to just flow. But so then I went back, and then I went to the hospital. I was in the helicopter. And then when I went to the hospital, they did like x-rays, and it was dark and just and then I had 2 broken legs, a broken arm. I woke up in the hospital, and then when I woke up, I just remember feeling like just this beautiful feeling, beautiful bliss. And I just wanted to tell everybody about it because it was just like so big. I didn't know how to communicate this. So I told my mom about it. She was the first person. And so she took it really well, and she was so sweet.
During your life review, you saw that you were going to have a husband and kids, right?
I've spent over $6.3 million on paid video ads to promote my online coaching business. And it's safe to say that in that time,
there is knowledge of that. So I know that, like, I don't have a clarity of like word, like one sequence of events of what would happen, but I know that I had just this knowledge of my future, and I felt it inside of me, like I can't go home because I have these things. So I don't know exactly if that was shown to me. I just know that my future was shown to me, and I had this obvious feeling like I have to go back. I cannot go there because.
And it can happen like that in a flash. When I had my out of body experience and the spirit being came to me, he was telling me things, and I was just like, but as they would happen, I knew it was something that, was imparted to me. So it can happen so fast, it happens like that. If you could be shown your lifetime in a matter of seconds, a matter of review like that, it's fast.
Because I'm not done. So to say like specifics, I don't know if it was specific. I think it was everything that just made me go, okay, I have to go back. I don't have the greatest memory because it was 20 years ago too. So my memories, it's not as clear. I have more like information on like just the full download, where it just kind of all this knowledge, kind of downloaded in me. So that was interesting.
Have you considered over the last 20 years about free will and about having a pre-birth contract, that you were shown that you have all this stuff to do in your life? Like, if you sat around and considered, I'm supposed to do all this stuff. Why?
Yes, I definitely was aware of pre-birth contracts. I was aware that before we were born, that we had a communication with the Creator, and that you had this discussion about the things that we're supposed to accomplish. And then from there, we go to the womb, and then we come out and we live our lives. So yeah, there was definitely an agreement between me and God that I was fully aware of. So that was really interesting. And I know that for a fact. I saw it, I was aware of it. And I would have that knowledge in me that, yeah, that's definitely a thing. And I was aware that God and I had this contract before I was even born. And then as we go on, he gives these gifts to us, and then we're supposed to, portray these gifts, and then they glorify the Creator. So he just works through us. That was my awareness for my experience.
Now I want to say this: there's nothing that's trying to be glorified. That is a woman that's coming from a religious perspective. God means good, okay? And saying that she had an agreement with God to come here and live good so he could get some glory. That's all religious fanaticism right there. But we do have, for lack of better words, a contract to come here and work out our karma. Karma is desire. We have to work it out. Once you lose desire, you don't need to come here anymore. You know, if you have a desire, well, I want to go back again because I want to have a good family, or I want to go back because I want to be rich, or I want to go back because I want to be the most beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Those are all desires. So it's desire that sends you back here. It's not to come here so some being can have glory on the other side. It doesn't work like that, you see? So I just wanted to clear that up.
Experience.
Can you give us some examples of the gifts that you were given?
I think that intuitiveness is one, just like, or sometimes I can kind of sense like future events, or I can kind of just get inclinations because of just the knowledge of the spirit. You know, our spirit has certain knowings, but our physical just kind of gets confused. So sometimes I feel like, and I think a lot of people have these abilities, is just following that inclination, the intuition, the voice inside, the voice of, you know.
Intuition is not a gift. That's not a gift. That's something that we're all born with. That's that inner knowing. That's that consciousness. That's that what they call the Holy Ghost. That's that when you're doing something and the little angel on your right shoulder, if you want to be creative, is saying, don't do that. You know that's wrong. You know that's wrong. That's your intuition, your inner knowing. Okay. Discernment is somewhat of a gift. That is a gift because most people don't discern. They just be like, oh, well, they told the powers that be told us to do that. But discernment is that good for you? Did you think about that, or you just did it and stuck your arm out because you were told? You see what I'm saying? So intuition is not a gift. That's an inner knowing.
Our creator and God that resonates in our spirit, and our spirit can hear these things, but our physical is, you know, our physical is the part that gets a little confused. So I'm still yet to kind of discover spiritual gifts, because it's always been a thing where I'm like, God, what are my gifts? Like, what am I here to do? But I'm fully aware that we all have gifts. We all have these things based on our unique personalities, where we're supposed to, you know, project these gifts, and then they're based on individuality. So for myself, I'm still, you know, praying and asking God, what are my gifts? You know, so I know they're there though.
Did you notice that you had any new abilities afterwards that could be considered psychic?
Yeah, psychic for sure. I've had some, like, I don't know, intuitions or things that told me things. And yeah, I think so. Like, I can't get specific.
She seems a bit confused to me. You know, I know it was 20 years ago. I had an incident that happened to me in 2008, and I remember every detail. Things like these spiritual events that happen, I don't forget them at all. And she's saying, she's asking God, her higher self, what her gift is. But then she's saying, I don't know. I guess, yeah. It's like, you know, did she really have a spiritual experience? You see what I'm saying? Whatever happened to her, in my opinion, happened on the lower realm. Because remember, the seventh level of the astral plane is the third dimension of the physical. So that's all right here. It could have just been something in her mind she went through. She didn't see anyone in particular. She just kept saying, I was asking God, well, who was God? Were you talking to somebody, or just thinking, God, don't let me go back, you know, or whatever like that. So it's interesting. And I like to listen to these, and I'm going to have a whole, hopefully I don't get a copyright strike because I'm using Jeff Mara, but I got him up here and y'all can see who he is. You can go and subscribe to his channel, listen to some of his videos. I'm not trying to take credit. He's right here on the screen. So, but yeah, she sounds a little bit confused.
I think things with family or friends, I'll have like intuitions and tell them like, oh, this might happen or that might happen, or just like an extra insight. I think that kind of came with it. And then also just seeing the love and light in people, and seeing the just having I don't know, I guess an extra intuition, psychic abilities. I can't get into specifics, but I know for a fact I've had different events where I could kind of just have a feeling where my spirit knows, and you know, it just kind of unfolds.
What was your spiritual or religious life like prior to the experience? And were you aware of soul contracts or any of this stuff?
No, I wasn't aware of soul contracts before this. Like, I've always had just a great love for God and a relationship with him since I was a little girl. I've always just had this, just this this relationship. And so after the experience, it just sort of expanded beyond that with the fact that, we are a part of God and we have this soul contract and we're a part of something so much more. It's not limited to just this space, So in this space, I'm aware that we're in a time space, and on the other side, there's no time. So it's expanded so much more. And this place is like just in a sense a prison because you're so confined with
Right.
everything physical, your brain.
Mhm.
There's just so much confinement in this space. So when you go to the other side, it opens up and
And that is so true. This is a prison planet. Earth is a prison planet. It's a school. Just like when you go in the school building, it's confined. You're in the school because you're in there to learn, right? So we're in here to learn. She's right about that. And the astral plane is not a physical location, it's a vibration. That's why you have 7 levels and you have sub levels on each level. And so it encompasses all of creation, right? So it is very huge. So she is right about that.
expands and everything just downloads. You have this just expansion way beyond this space.
After you came back, did you feel like you were just in love with everybody?
Yes.
Like
Oh,
you
yes.
go to the grocery store and
Yes.
you just loved everybody?
Yes. I felt like I felt like I was a part of all of it, like a part of everyone, or I felt like I just wanted to shout on the mountaintops and tell everybody about this experience. But at that time, the near-death experience information wasn't out the same way. So, certain family members who I was really close with, I would sit there and share it with, but other people wouldn't take it is they would, kind of turn the other cheek. But I just found this beauty and this love, and like I could almost see the love. I just wanted to go tell everybody. I was definitely aware of a light and a consciousness, and it kind of just opened up to me, whereas before it was dull. And then after that experience, everything just blew up and became this light where I could understand and really get it, and I just wanted to share it and tell everybody about it.
Do you believe in reincarnation? And if so, do you think that we keep coming back and creating soul contracts to learn and do stuff here?
Myself, I'm not real comfortable with those ideas, but I also am open to them because I know that a lot of people are, believe that. And so I'm not opposed to it. But for me personally, it just sounds pretty rough. I wouldn't want to keep coming back here because it's
Well, now she right about that. Nobody wants to think like that, but that is the case. If you don't do the work, and if you still have karma or desires, you get brought back and you bring yourself back. It's nobody sending you here. You come back because you still have desires. It could be a desire for sex. You can only have a body to enjoy that, right? It could be sex. It could be money. It could be fame. It could be beauty. It could be power. You just want to come back and separate yourself from the godliness on the astral plane to come back here and be an individual. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we do it to ourselves. Nothing's sending us back. We come back.
um it's just pretty trying, sometimes life is not it's wonderful, it's great, but this physical realm, I would have a hard time wanting to keep coming back and keep coming back. I would rather be, in the heavenlies doing heavenly stuff and being with my family and all of my loved ones. So I don't I don't I don't know if I believe in that, but I also am not closed off to it because I know a lot of people do believe that. So maybe there's something to it, but I kind of have a tendency to think we come here and then we go home, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. I know that's a big thing.
Well, why do you believe that we come here?
To expand love. It's all for the love. It's all for the relationships. It's all for each other to build and to grow and to expand that light and the knowledge and just the beauty. It's all for the love. That's why I believe we come here to love one another, to learn, to grow, to go through these trials and these triumphs, and to grow from those triumphs it's all for growth and for.
So when you think about what she's saying, we're here for love and for life. Do you know how many people are here that can't do that, that cannot love? Think about the slave trade. Think about the wars. Think about these religious organizations that are molesting kids. Think about it. We got a lot of negative malevolent entities amongst us, right? Some people are here about, trying to grow and the light and the love and all of this kind of stuff, but you got some beings here that can't do that. They can't grow. They're just wicked. And those are the ones that are in charge. And these are the ones that want to keep us trapped and keep us coming back by dangling money, dangling fame, dangling sex, dangling beauty, putting everything in your face to say, okay, in your subconscious, you still want these things. You may not have it in this life. So then when you cross over, you still got a desire to have these things, and you can't fool the spirit realm. Okay. If you still got the desire, you're going to come back, but you're doing it to yourself. That's why it's good to cut yourself off from desires and lust. Okay. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. These three things destroy a man and keep him coming back. Keep him coming back. So whether she believes it or not, it does not matter. I already read that in the last chapter. Okay. Don't matter if she believes it. If she still has desires, she will be back, as will I and anybody else who has desires.
Love, to grow in love, I think.
Do you fear death?
No, I don't. The only thing I fear is leaving my loved ones behind. But when you go to the other side, you don't think like that because you have the full understanding, you full knowledge. You understand that we all come here for, a reason. And
yes and no. When you go to the other side, if you have regrets or if someone is mourning you too hard and you don't have an understanding, you can get stuck. So she's wrong right there, saying that when you go to the side, we know that. No, you don't automatically know that. Somebody has to tell you that. You need to understand that. You need to learn that, because you don't just go over there like, oh, well, they'll be all right. No, you don't. People are stuck on the seventh vibration, on the seventh level. Not talking about the seventh heaven. That's right here in the 3D, the seventh realm of the astral realm, right? These are souls that can't move on. All right. They get stuck here because they want to be with their loved ones, and they follow them and they realize they're not being heard. Go and see that movie, What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams. So now she's misleading here, saying that when you get over there, you automatically know they're going to be okay. No, you don't automatically know that unless you understand that before you get over there.
A purpose. So I personally don't fear death. The only thing I fear is my loved ones being afraid of death, and me wanting to help with that. So me personally, no, I don't fear death, just because of what I saw on the other side. It's so beautiful. I look forward to that someday when my life is complete here. I look forward to going to that space, and I'm excited about it because it's so beautiful and beyond anything that we can ever dream of or imagine. It's the best place it's the best place for us. So no, I don't fear death.
When you were on the other side, I think that most of the time you were like in the light with God. Did you happen to see any of the realms there or anything that looked heavenly?
See, I think when I had my experience, I just went through the tunnel. I went to the light, and the light was basking around me. I could almost, it's like translucent, like you can almost feel like you're becoming a part of it. And so beyond that point, that's where I think I have a memory issue, because it just doesn't come to me. The only thing that comes to me is the download, the life review, and the knowledge of God, and basking in the eternal love. So not so much beyond that.
If you had a friend that was suffering over the loss of a loved one, what type of advice would you give?
To love them through it all, and to be there for them, and to guide them, and to just help them along, and to share with them that we're just eternal beings, and we're here for the experience, and we have nothing to be afraid of because that's our real home, and we're just in this prison. So I would just let them know that we go home to love. We go home to that space of eternity with God. This is just a temporary space, and I call it the earth school. We're just here to learn, and it's not as scary as you think it would be. It's actually quite simple. You just wake up and it's like you were dreaming and you wake up to this true space. So I would say just enjoy the ride, do your best, and just love one another.
Now, your story was featured in one of Dr. Jeffrey Long's books. How did you
Yes.
react when you read your story there?
I was in awe, and I was confirmed with the fact that I'm not crazy. When I found it, I was like, it was a synchronicity for me, because when I had my car accident, after I had gotten out of it, I was trying to find answers, and I started to research anywhere I could. But 20 years ago, there was a Death Research Experience Foundation, and that's where I.
Hey, y'all, I don't know what happened to my image, but the video is almost done. Y'all can hear me, but you can't see me. No worries. I'm here. It's just, I don't know why my image went away. So let's finish this up. It's only about 10 more minutes.
I started to find my information, and from there, I noticed an area where you could put your story in. So I went ahead and did that when I was probably 21, 22. Put my story in, and then I continued to follow Dr. Jeffrey Long's information and read all the stories on there. And I just really found a lot of information in for it to be really helpful. So then I continued, to read all this stuff. So his first book came out. I ordered that, and I was so excited because it's like, oh my gosh, a new book on this stuff. I ordered it and I read it, and then I want to say it was in 2017, maybe, his second book came out, God in the Afterlife. I ordered the book so excitedly, like, oh, good, some more information. Ordered the book, and as I'm reading it, I got into the part where it said life review, and I read my own story, and I was just in awe. And I was just really amazed that he chose my story, and I felt honored and privileged because it felt like a confirmation that, okay, you're not crazy. He heard your story. These, people are taking you serious. So it felt really good to have that happen. It was a confirmation from God, I felt like. So that was neat. And I kind of shared it with a couple people, and then I kind of, like, okay, that's neat. And I not forgot about it. Time went on. And then, so was that your question about what did I do when I saw it in the book?
Right. Now, recently,
Yeah, so that's right.
This tiny Egyptian village holds the answer to modern hair loss. Hidden in the heart of Egypt lies a village untouched.
I was excited.
Recently, you had a shared death experience. Would you like to comment at all about that?
Yeah. I lost my father last year in November, and he went to the other side. And when he did, like 3 days before he went to the other side, there was, I'm pretty sure there was family coming down from the heavenlies letting him know that there is going to be a graduation when he comes home. And so I was aware of these beings, his family members, and probably all of his people coming down to just let him know. And at one point he had said that we have to move the truck outside, a big a boom truck, because he was a tree man. So he said, you have to move the boom truck because there's so many people on the side of the road coming to see him that the truck needed to be moved so that they can be against, on the, where the truck is at. So he made it a point that there's all those people there. And so I was aware of this sort of activity because I could see him so happy and joyous in his being. And then on the final day, I'm pretty sure his mom came and got him and took him home. And And then that was it. But I was fully aware that there was this preparation in the heavenlies being made for him. That there was like a graduation that was going to happen, and that there was a table being prepared for him. I was just aware of this in my spirit, and it was very interesting, and very, it made me feel good to know that, to feel that. And then when he went home, I just felt this beautiful, beautiful love and understanding that he went back home where he belongs, so that was my experience. And I feel so honored and privileged to be able to have that happen, because I know that my dad is in the hands of his creator, of God, and he's so loved. And so I feel like that was a gift for me.
People can't seem to unwrap their heads around God. What I do when I hear people saying that, I just replace that with spirit, because we know spirit is spirit, right? But when people get caught up in an idea of you and a personal God, like the God of the universe is concerned with one little soul, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, when we leave here, we go where we belong, right? You got to have your soul slumber. There's steps to it. And depending on how you died, that determines different things as well. So, but everybody has this blanketed thought, and I noticed that in the near-death experience community, that okay, automatically you go through a tunnel, but there are people who don't go through tunnels. So I'm going to be sharing these kind of videos with you guys. These are going to be the reaction videos that I do, because that we have an understanding on this channel how it goes down when you leave out your body. We know what's an error or what is just like somebody's brain. They just in la la land. That's their thought process. That's what they think. That's what they expect. And remember, I read in the chapter that what you expect is what it'll be. All right. Okay.
With my dad.
After watching this podcast, people may want to reach out to you and ask you questions. Are you open to that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
What's the best way to contact you?
You can go to Elisa Palmer. I have created a Facebook page specifically for my near-death experience. And so, yeah, just go to Elisa Palmer on Facebook and you can find me there. You're welcome to email me loveslife11@hotmail.com if anyone wants to reach me there. So yeah, probably those two places. I am on Instagram, but I don't go on there enough to really make it like a thing. So I'd say Facebook and my email would be good contacts for me.
After your NDE, did your father try to contact you through dreams or anything?
No, but my sister, he would come to my sister in dreams. And then a couple other people he had come into it. His cousin in a dream. I saw his cousin, and his cousin had said, your dad came to me in a dream. And I said, oh my gosh, what did he say? Because he didn't know that my dad was sick. So in the dream, he said, Primo, what happened? Because my dad's Hispanic. And so he said, Primo, what happened? In the dream to my dad. And my dad said to him, I'm okay. I'm okay, Primo. I'm okay. And he let him know that he's okay. And then
now, dreams are very important in the astral realm. That's where loved ones who transition can definitely meet you. They can talk to you there. At that time, you're not in your body. You're, where you need to be at that time. And they can come back to you. I think I told the testimony of how my father came to me 30 days straight after he passed. So, yeah, but I think it's interesting that he didn't come to her.
And his cousin felt good about it. And then he also came to my sister in a dream where she was dreaming and she saw my dad go down a waterfall in the dream. And she said, Dad, what are you doing? You don't even go on Pirates of the Caribbean. And he said, I do now. And he had his arms up and he was smiling and he was so happy. And then he said, don't forget your sister's birthday and don't forget the anniversary. So the next day, it was my birthday. And my sister went and asked my mom, what anniversary is dad talking about? And she said, it's our anniversary at the end of the month. So my dad came in the dream to say those things. So we've had different things like that. I personally haven't been honored enough to have a dream, but I'm so thankful that I have family members that do. And I just write them down and I have them all in one place. And it makes me just feel so good knowing that, you know, we still get to have him.
Are you aware if when your father contacted these family members in a dream, did he look as he did when he was, at the age he did when he was dying, or did he look a lot younger?
My dad looked young and youthful and happy and free and good.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. And I remember my grandfather saying when I was a little girl how when you get the new body, you go back to like the perfect age of 30. So yeah, that's another benefit, you guys, of going over to the astral plane. You age backwards.
And that's what I was aware of in the dreams, that he had a youthful appearance.
Elisa, before we wrap it up, can you leave us with one last positive message?
Yes, to love one another, to when we need help each other with, with the ability that we can. We have to, of course, have the boundaries to take care of ourselves, but any chance that we have to love one another, to help one another, to guide one another, to be there for one another, that's why we're here. That's what we're here to do. We're here to love one another and be a good example and reach out and help, not judge and look at each other with discrimination, but we're here to have the wholeness that God gave us to expand that here on earth. So that's why we're here, is to love. So just be as much of a loving individual as you can and just continue loving. That's my message.
Elisa, thank you for your message, and thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching the Jeff.
All right, guys. Again, I don't know why my camera went out, but thank you all for joining me, join Jeff and Elisa with her NDE video. There'll be more reaction videos coming, reaction education videos. And till next time, love you guys.